At the beginning of the story, we are told that today, the entire city's media has gathered in one place. Everyone has only one question. Can Big B save his daughter from Crime Master Joker, the world's most notorious kidnapper who has never been defeated? Big B says confidently, if Crime Master Joker has never lost to anyone, then no one has ever defeated me either. I'll meet you again shortly, with my daughter. His manager then asks, but sir, how are we going to rescue the young miss? Big B replies, to save her, some of the greatest martial artists in our country are coming. The 4 people standing here, forget fighting them. No one has ever even been able to break their defense. That's why I believe they'll save my daughter. After that, Big B enters the tower along with those masters. Meanwhile, Crime Master Joker laughs and says, so Big B, you finally came. I thought you'd be too scared and hide in your house. Big B angrily replies, let my daughter go. Otherwise, I'll make sure you suffer so badly that you won't even be able to save yourself. Joker smirks and says, your daughter is so beautiful. How could I let her go so easily? You raised her so carefully that she now has a pure body. Once I drink her blood, I'll become extremely powerful. One of the masters steps forward and says, there's no point talking to this bastard. Attack him. Another master says proudly, no one has ever broken my barrier before. There's no way he can harm me. But suddenly, Crime Master Joker shatters both his pride and his barrier. Big B was shocked to see that the powerful masters he brought have been defeated so easily. Laughing, Joker says, I don't have time to waste. All of you attack me together. Within just a few seconds, he buries all the masters into the ground. Shouting proudly, Joker declares, I am undefeated. No one can defeat me. But suddenly, a flying brick hits him, forcing the so-called undefeated Joker to stumble. Annoyed, the main character says, even dogs don't bark as much as you're barking here. I'm warning you. Leave right now. Otherwise, once I start fighting, I won't even listen to myself. Joker asks angrily, do you even know who I am? The main character replies, I don't know who you are, but today I'm going to beat you so badly that you'll remember my name forever. Lee Dagon Nova. As he says this, he starts slapping Crime Master Joker repeatedly. Nova then shouts to everyone around, are you all with him too? Clear this place immediately. I want this entire area empty. The injured masters watch in shock and think, this boy is incredibly powerful. We've never seen someone this strong before. As they are leaving, Nova stops them and says, old man, wait a second. Take this pill. All your injuries will heal instantly. Big B bows respectfully and says, Mr. Nova, thank you very much. You saved my daughter today. If you ever need my help in the future, just remember me once. Nova replies, for now, the only help you can give me is to leave quickly. After they leave, Nova immediately returns to his master, who was extremely ill. Annoyed, Nova says, if those idiots hadn't made such a huge commotion here, you would have already healed yourself. Master, you can see the future, right? Then why did you allow them to come here? His master calmly replies, because we are humans and we cannot play with fate. My child, I will soon enter a deep sleep. Once I do, this entire place will be sealed. So leave this place quickly and go enjoy your life. Before Nova can say anything, the entire place begins to seal itself. As he leaves, Nova shouts, Master, I promise you that one day I will return and save you. 3 days later, Nova arrives outside Mr. Big B's company to meet him. However, the security guards think he is a beggar and refuse to let him enter. At that moment, Big B's daughter arrives and says, do you need money? Nova replies, no, I don't need money. I need to meet Mr. Big B. He thinks to himself, so she's the girl whose life I saved. Big B's daughter hands him some money and says, here, buy something to eat. Meanwhile, Nova notices something and thinks, the danger around her hasn't passed yet. Her body condition isn't good. He grabs Christian's wrist to check her pulse. Angrily, Christian shouts, guards, come here. I let this bastard touch my finger, and now he's grabbing my hand. Nova says seriously, you don't understand. Your condition is not good. Christian replies coldly, the police will fix your condition today. I don't know why people like you are hanging around my dad's office. Nova says, your dad asked me to meet him. If you don't believe me, go and ask him. Please arrange a meeting with him somehow, because your life is in serious danger. Meanwhile, inside the office, Big B was extremely worried. He says, were you all sleeping? That kidnapper escaped. Suddenly, a video message from Crime Master Joker appears on his laptop. Joker says, Big B, you're the first person in my life who managed to escape from me. Usually, when people hear that Crime Master Joker is after them, they get so scared they almost wet themselves. Your daughter is very precious to you, right? That's why I'll steal her from you. Next time we meet, you'll be on your knees, and your daughter will be with me. Big B thinks anxiously. What should I do now? The experts I hired last time couldn't do anything. Just then his secretary rushes in and says, "Sir, there's very bad news. Something terrible has happened to the young miss." Big B thinks in shock. Did that bastard already make his move so quickly? But the secretary explains, a beggar-looking man was harassing the young miss outside. Our bodyguards have already captured him. Annoyed, Big B said, "Why do these thugs keep targeting my daughter all the time? Whoever that guy is, I'm going to break his hands." Just then, Christian walked in angrily and said, "Dad, I'm very angry with you." Happily, Big B replied, "My little princess, you're here. Tell me, what did your dad do that made you so upset?" Christian said, "I always thought you were a very good person, but now I'm realizing that you hang around with some very shameless people." Big B quickly replied, "No, that can't be true. Whoever told you that is completely wrong." Christian then showed him a card and said, "Then how did I find your personal card with that man?" Big B was shocked. He thought, in my entire life, I have given this personal card to only one person. Could it be that the master from the tower is here? At that moment, Nova walked in and said, "Mr. Big B, I hope you still remember me. Look at the wonderful welcome your people gave me." As soon as Big B saw Nova, he immediately fell to his knees, shocking everyone present. With tears in his eyes, Big B said, "Mr. Nova, you have revived my hope. I had already given up, but you brought my hope back." Nova thought to himself, "What is this man doing?" To speak privately, Big B asked his daughter and the manager to leave the room. Outside, Christian asked, "Uncle, who exactly is that guy that Dad asked me to leave the room for?" The secretary replied, "I don't know either. This is the first time I've ever seen the boss kneel before someone." Meanwhile, inside the room, Big B said, "That kidnapper escaped from prison." Nova replied, "Your daughter's condition is still not good." Shocked, Big B asked, "What happened to my daughter?" Nova said coldly, "You've hired some useless people who couldn't even protect her properly." Big B begged, "Please tell me what that bastard Joker did to my daughter." Nova explained, "Joker placed a tracking mark inside your daughter. No matter where she goes in the world, he can track her. Not only that, he also used several powerful techniques on her body. Because of that, many powerful people will be attracted to her. For martial artists, your daughter is like a treasure." Big B fell to his knees again and said, "I have never bowed my head to anyone in my life, but right now, I'm completely helpless. Please help me." Nova replied calmly, "Don't worry, that's exactly why I'm here, but I'll need to examine your daughter again." When Nova approached Christian, she shouted angrily, "You may have fooled my dad, but you won't fool me. If you come near me again, I'll have your legs broken." Ignoring her, Nova began checking her condition. Christian shouted, "I don't even want to see your face." Big B tried to calm her down and said, "The kidnapper Joker has escaped, and Mr. Nova is a martial artist who came here to help you." Christian replied stubbornly, "So what if Chogo comes? At worst, he'll just kill me. I'd rather die at Joker's hands than trust this man." Later, Christian returned home and texted her friend, "Come to my house quickly. My dad has gone crazy." 2 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Christian said to herself, "How did she arrive so fast?" But when she opened the door, she saw her father and Nova instead. Angrily, she shouted, "Dad, if you come inside with this man, the door will be closed for you too." Big B sighed and said to Nova, "I'm sorry. I raised my daughter with too much care, so sometimes she behaves arrogantly. You know you have to protect her, and you've already seen my house. I have some work to do now, so I'll leave the rest to you." After Big B left, Nova thought, Big B paid me a huge amount to protect his daughter, so I must complete this job. Suddenly, he sensed something and said, "Wait a second, it looks like someone just entered the house. Who is trying to enter without knocking?" Nova quickly ran to the door and grabbed Christian's friend. "As long as I'm here, you can't steal anything." Christian came running out and shouted, "Idiot, what are you doing? She's my friend." "Lume, are you okay?" Lume replied, "Yes, I'm fine." Christian angrily said to Nova, "Can't you do even a single thing properly?" But Lume said, "It's not his fault, he was just doing his job." Christian replied, "You don't know how shameless this guy is. He grabbed my hand outside my dad's office." Nova calmly explained, "I was checking your pulse." Christian snapped, "I don't need any explanation from you. Leave this house immediately." Nova replied firmly, "I've listened to enough of your nonsense. If your dad hadn't begged me, I would have left long ago. Whether you like it or not, from now on, I am your bodyguard. My job is to protect you from Crime Master Joker." Annoyed, Christian said, "Oh, you won't leave? If you stay here, I'll stab you." Nova stepped forward and said, I promised your father that I would protect you no matter what. Even if I have to face knives or swords, I'm ready. If you doubt me, go ahead and stab me." Christian scoffed and said, "You think these words will fool me? Even the bravest people get scared when they see a knife. You'll move away on your own." But suddenly, Nova allowed the knife to stab into his body. Nova said calmly, "There, I've proven what I said. That means I'm officially your bodyguard now." Seeing the knife stuck in Nova's body, both girls were completely shocked. Christian panicked and said, "What have I done?" "Wait, I'm calling an ambulance right now." Nova replied, "No need. I'll heal soon. If you still doubt me, you can stab me 3 or 4 more times. By the way, where's the guest room? I'll be staying there from now on." Lu Mei said, "The first room on the 2nd floor is the guest room." After that, Nova went to his room. As soon as he pulled the knife out of his body, his wounds instantly began to heal. Nova said to himself, "They have no idea that my body has healing powers. Even if half of my body were destroyed, I could recover in just a few seconds." Looking around the room, he added, "I have to admit, this guest room is pretty amazing." Just then, Lu Mei and Christian knocked and entered the room. Lu Mei said, "Even if you don't want to go to the hospital, at least let us put a bandage on your wound." Christian added, "If you're not going to the hospital because of money, then don't worry, I'll pay for it." But when they looked at him closely, they were completely shocked. Nova was perfectly fine. Not only his body, but even his clothes had completely healed. Annoyed, Christian said, "I knew you were just pretending. Tell me, what kind of magic did you use in front of me? You clearly didn't get hurt at all. Take off your shirt right now. I want to see the wound." Nova replied, "What do you think? Do you think I can't understand what you're thinking? I've only been here for 15 minutes, and you're already asking me to take off my shirt." As Christian left the room, she thought angrily, "So you really want to be my bodyguard? If I don't teach you a lesson, then my name isn't Christian." Later, they all left for school. Christian said quietly, "I've got a great idea to trouble him. You know how crazy Duanzhang is about me at school. If I act close to Nova, Duanzhang will definitely attack him. Nova keeps showing off his magic to scare us. Let's see what he does when Duanzhang comes with his gang." Meanwhile, Nova looked at the school building and said, "So this is St. Paul Public School, famous all over the world for its huge library. Maybe I'll find something here that can help me save my master." As Nova opened the gate for Christian, she suddenly clung to his arm. Nova thought, something is wrong. This girl usually fights with me like a cat and dog. Why is she suddenly sticking to me like a lizard? Nova said, "Christian, move away from me. I just bought this coat today, and you're ruining it." Christian said sweetly, "Big brother Nova, you're such a good person. I made a big mistake judging you earlier." But in her mind she thought, Duanzhang has already seen us together. Now Nova is definitely going to get beaten up. Just then Duanzhang appeared and said angrily, "The elders used to say that a clown with a gold ring is still a clown. Guys, beat this bastard." Soon Nova was surrounded by Duanzhang and his friends. Nova calmly said, "If you had known earlier that my name is Li Daigun Nova, you wouldn't have dared to talk so much nonsense. Now you and your group are going to get beaten." Lu Mei laughed and said, "If we were giving marks for dialogues, Nova would definitely get the highest score." Meanwhile, Christian said, "We're getting late for class. Let's go." Duanzhang thought angrily, "This guy humiliated me in front of my goddess. If I don't teach him a lesson, then my name isn't Duanzhang." But within just a few seconds, Nova defeated all of Duanzhang's friends. Shocked, Christian said, "What? They actually lost?" Duanzhang shouted at his friends, "What are you standing there for? Attack him! He's just a human with 2 hands. He can't fight all of us at once." However, in just a few more seconds, Nova knocked them all down. Nova said calmly, "Who said fights are won with fists and legs? The most important thing in a fight is courage, and none of you have it." Watching the fight, Christian thought, he didn't look that strong at first, but he's actually very powerful. Since Duanzhang couldn't do anything, I'll have to use plan B. She thought, I'll hire people to kidnap me. Once Nova fails to save me, Dad will fire him automatically. Later, they headed back home. Lu Mei said, "Christian, don't even think about that stupid plan of yours. Getting yourself kidnapped is not a good idea." But Christian thought, no matter what, I have to get this guy fired. I just need to come up with a better plan. At that moment, the driver received a call from an unknown number. The caller said, "Listen carefully. If you press the brakes, your car will explode, so just keep driving quietly." The driver asked nervously, "Who are you?" Suddenly, another car came from the side and crashed into their vehicle. Lu Mei said to Christian, "Is this part of your plan? Tell your men not to overact like this." We could have gotten hurt, Christian replied nervously, but I didn't hire these people. Nova then said calmly, stay quiet. As long as I'm here, nothing will happen to you. At that moment, a gunman pointed a gun at them and said, if you make any move, I'll shoot these girls. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Big B's office. A man sitting in front of him said, Big B, sign this deal immediately. Annoyed, Big B replied, either you think you're very smart or you think I'm a complete fool. Why would I hand over the company that I built with my own hands? The man replied calmly, you're right. You wouldn't give your company away so easily. That's why I came prepared. Big B said, I came here to discuss business, not to sell my company. No matter what you do, I will never sell it to you. The man smiled and said, at least take a look at my preparation first, then decide what you want to do. He then showed Big B a video. In the video, Christian was crying and saying, Dad, please help me. Big B was shocked and thought, how did they capture Christian? Nova was with her. The scene then shifts to a building where Christian was being held hostage. One of the gunmen pointed his weapon at her and said, call your father and tell him to transfer his company to us immediately. Otherwise, I'll fill you with bullets. Nova said calmly, Christian, why are you so scared? Fear doesn't look good on a beautiful face. Meanwhile, Big B thought, Nova looks very confident. It seems like he's trying to signal to me that he will save everyone. I shouldn't do anything foolish right now. Closing his laptop, the pink-haired man said, you've seen enough. Now tell me quickly, are you going to sign the deal or not? On the other side, as soon as the video call ended, Nova immediately started beating the thugs. Nova shouted, driver, start the car. I'll deal with these people. Within moments, he knocked all of them down. When one man tried to attack Christian, Nova quickly shot him as well. Nova said, Christian, don't panic. I know how to defuse bombs. As he said this, he removed the bomb attached to Christian's body. Christian sighed and said, well, at least there's some benefit to Dad paying you $1 million a month. But suddenly, the gunman stood up again and said, my luck saved me. But who's going to save you now? Do you think that cutting the red wire means the bomb is defused? If you've watched movies, so have we. I can reactivate the bomb with just one button. Nova replied calmly, do whatever you want. Even if you reactivate it, you still won't be able to harm me. Christian panicked and said, Nova, he's talking about the bomb. Please calm down. Nova looked at her and said, Christian, start running. And don't look back. Don't worry about the bomb. It won't hurt me. As he said this, Nova took the entire explosion on his own body. The scene then shifts to a hospital. Despite trying their best, the doctors were unable to save Nova. Christian suddenly opened her eyes and said, so, it was just a dream. No matter how much I hate you, I never wanted you to die because of me. Just then, Lume said from above, what are you muttering about? Christian replied, I had a terrible dream. How is Nova? Is he okay? Lume laughed and said, when Nova first joined the job, you hated him. And now you're dreaming about him? Don't you think this change is happening a little too fast? Christian said softly, Nova took the bomb explosion on himself for us. Even family members don't do something that big for each other. Lume nodded and said, you're right. Nova saved our lives. No matter how many times we thank him, we can never repay what he did. Just then, they suddenly heard Nova's voice. Nova said, it seems like two beautiful girls are talking about me here. Christian asked in surprise, did you hear Nova's voice? Lume replied, yes, I heard it too. Christian said, but how is that possible? Yesterday he was seriously injured. How could he recover so quickly? Nova then walked in and said, when such beautiful girls are worried about me, how could I not come back? The girls said nervously, maybe Nova died, and this is his ghost. Nova stepped forward and said, I'm completely healed now. If you don't believe me, you can check for yourselves. Christian touched him and said in shock, there isn't even a single wound. But yesterday the explosion almost destroyed half of your body. How can someone have such godlike healing powers? Nova joked, I admit that my abs are amazing, but you can't keep holding them like that. Christian rolled her eyes and said, you're still joking. But honestly, I'm really happy to see you okay. Tell me, what reward do you want? Nova thought to himself, why is she offering me money? Is she planning to fire me by paying my salary in advance? He replied, no, Christian, I don't need any money. Christian said, I was going to give you 200,000 yuan as an extra reward, but it seems like you don't want it. While they were talking, Christian's laptop received a video call from her grandfather. Her grandfather asked, Christian, how are you? Lume whispered, I've been Christian's friend since childhood, but I've never heard her mention her grandfather before. This is the first time I'm seeing him. Her grandfather then asked, I hear a lot of voices around you. Is someone else there? Christian replied, Yes, my bodyguard and my friend are here. But why did you call me? Her grandfather said, I called to inform you that the Du family is hosting a birthday party. At that party, we will finalize your marriage alliance with the Hamazaki family. Shocked, Christian said, What? Marriage? No one told me about this. After ending the call, she said angrily, Who does he think he is to decide my marriage? Nova said, The Hamazaki family is a very powerful family in Japan. Why do they want to marry you off so far away? Christian replied, Because he's not my real grandfather. My dad broke all ties with the Du family when I was born. My mother died the day I was born. Since my father was the eldest son, the family forced him to marry again. But he refused, left the family forever, and never looked back. Nova said, It's obvious that your grandfather just wants to use you. Lume added, That's why I never knew anything about your grandfather. She then comforted Christian and said, Don't worry, whether you go to Japan or the USA, I'll always stand by your side. Just then Big B arrived and asked, Christian, did your grandfather call you? Christian replied, Yes, Dad. I just spoke with him. Big B said, Then you already know everything. The birthday party is tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll handle everything. I left that family for my daughter, and I won't sacrifice my daughter for that family. The next day, the scene shifts to the Du family's birthday party. Big B angrily said, Dad, why did you fix my daughter's marriage without even asking me? Maybe you've forgotten, but I cut all ties with the Du family many years ago. The grandfather replied coldly, Just saying it doesn't end a relationship. No matter how much you deny it, the blood in your body still belongs to our family, and you already know how I make decisions. Once I decide something, I never go back on it. Big B said, If you want to form an alliance with the Hamazaki family, then why are you using my daughter for it? My brother's son, Du Fang, can marry into the Hamazaki family instead. Grandpa replied coldly, Do you really think you're the only smart person here who could think of that? The truth is that the head of the Hamazaki family and I made a bet. The daughters of our two families will play a game of chess. If the Hamazaki family's daughter loses, she will marry into our family. But if our daughter loses, then Christian will marry into their family. Angrily, Big B said, My daughter doesn't even know how to play chess. And for the sake of your ridiculous bet, I won't let anything happen to her. Grandpa replied, Do you really think you can stop me? For your daughter's sake, I will allow you to seek help from outside. No one will stop you. But remember, the Hamazaki family's daughter is a chess genius. The match will start in 1 hour. Go find a chess master for your daughter if you can. As Big B walked away, he said, Dad, this is now a battle between you and me. I could save my daughter in other ways, but I promise you this, my daughter will win this game. Even if I have to use all my contacts, I will definitely find a chess master. Grandpa responded, Fine, then I'll also use all my contacts to make sure you don't find any chess master. I will not let my family's bloodline be ruined by marrying Du Fang to an outsider. To save the family, Christian must be sacrificed. Hearing this, Christian thought in shock. So my own family is really going to sacrifice me. She immediately ran to Nova and said, Everyone here is terrible. I don't want to stay here anymore. They don't see me as a person. They treat me like an object. Nova calmly asked, What happened, Christian? Tell me. As long as I'm here, I won't let anything bad happen to you. Christian explained, Grandpa made a bet with the Hamazaki family. If I lose to their daughter, who is a chess genius, my life will be over. I don't even know how to play chess. How can I possibly win? Nova asked, Who is your opponent? Let me see her once. Christian pointed to a girl standing nearby and said, Her name was Suzuka Hamazaki. At that moment, Suzuka walked toward Christian and said politely, Nice to meet you. I'm Suzuka Hamazaki, your opponent in today's chess competition. Christian replied angrily, Why did you agree to such a stupid competition? Your family doesn't care about your happiness, but don't you care about it yourself? Suzuka answered calmly, I was always taught that it is a girl's responsibility to sacrifice for her family. So whatever I'm doing here, it's my duty. Nova whispered to Christian, This isn't the time to get angry. Stay calm. Go sit down and put on the invisible earpiece. I know how to play chess. I'll help you. As she walked away, Christian muttered, Girl, in today's chess match, I'm definitely going to defeat you. Nova quickly said to Suzuka, Miss Suzuka, please don't mind young Miss's words. She speaks without thinking sometimes, but she has a very kind heart. Nice to meet you. My name is Lee Daigun Nova. I'm Miss Christian's personal bodyguard. Suzuka smiled and replied, To be honest, I actually felt happy seeing Christian speak her mind. People around me never dare to say what they truly feel, and that leaves a hidden guilt inside. Nova thought to himself, Both girls are the same age, yet their ways of thinking are so different. He then said softly, "You don't need to give up. People who cannot express their feelings are still heard by God. Maybe your silence has already been heard, so don't give up until the last moment." At that moment, Grandpa stepped forward and announced, "Thank you all for coming to the Du family's birthday banquet. Everyone here knows how much I love chess. So today, the younger generation of the Hamazaki family and the Du family will compete in a chess match." Suzuka said to Nova, "Thank you for giving me hope, Mr. Bodyguard. I will give my best in this game, and I will never give up." Nova thought, "I feel bad for this girl. Just like Christian doesn't want this marriage, neither does Suzuka. But she cannot tell anyone about her feelings. If possible, I'll help her too." Just then, Lume quietly handed Nova an earpiece. Everyone around them excitedly said, "Finally, the game is about to start." One person commented, "The elders of the Hamazaki family and the Du family have always had a chess rivalry, and now their children are continuing it." Meanwhile, Christian thought nervously, "Nova, today I'm relying completely on you. Please save me." Nova then began guiding her moves through the earpiece. Grandpa Du thought, "I already knew Christian would lose somehow, but I never expected her to play such strange moves." The spectators whispered, "She looks like someone who has never played chess before. Her moves are like those of a beginner." However, Suzuka was shocked. She thought, "No one here understands Christian's strategy. She's pretending not to understand anything, but in reality, she's dominating the board within just the first 4 moves." After a few exchanges, everyone began to realize that Christian was actually winning. Suzuka thought in shock, "I've been playing chess since childhood, but I've never faced such a terrifying opponent. I can't read her next move at all." Meanwhile, Nova, sitting behind her, thought, "This game is going to end soon." The head of the Hamazaki family said, "Brother Du, I must admit your granddaughter is extremely talented." Grandpa replied, "All the credit goes to Christian's father." Big B quickly said, "But Dad, I didn't do anything. I contacted many chess masters, but none of them were willing to help. Whatever Christian is doing here, she's doing it on her own." Grandpa thought to himself, "That's strange. I sent all the chess masters to another competition, so none of them could help Big B. Then, who is secretly helping Christian? And not just helping, but completely dominating Suzuka Hamazaki?" Meanwhile, Suzuka began to cry and said, "It seems I can't win this game." Just as she was about to surrender, Nova suddenly shouted, "Don't give up. Remember, if no one listens to you, God still does." Christian said, "Nova, what are you saying?" Nova replied, "Tell Suzuka not to give up. She will definitely understand what I mean." Christian then said loudly, "Suzuka, don't give up." Suzuka thought to herself, "Those words must have come from the bodyguard. He's telling me not to surrender. I can't give up. Until defeat embraces me itself, I will not surrender." Christian said confidently, "Now the game will become even more interesting." As she said that, she deliberately made a very wrong move. Suzuka wondered, what kind of move was that? The spectators were also confused. The game was supposed to end in just 1 move. How did it suddenly become so long? Nova thought quietly, "Suzuka, I've given you the opportunity you needed. I hope you use it well." The match continued for another half hour, and finally it ended. The host announced, "At one point it looked like Miss Christian would win the game, but the final result is a draw." Angrily, Dufang said, "What do you mean by a draw? Does that mean I won't get to marry Suzuka Hamazaki? Whether my sister marries into the Hamazaki family or not doesn't matter to me, but I definitely wanted to marry into their family. I've heard that the women of the Hamazaki family serve their husbands extremely well, so I won't let you slip away from my hands." As he grabbed Suzuka's hand, a bodyguard stepped forward and said, "Young Master Du, please behave properly with our young miss." Dufang shouted, "So now your dog is going to teach me how to behave." The head of the Hamazaki family said sternly, "Brother Du, your grandson has no manners at all. Tell him not to start a fight." Grandpa Du replied calmly, "He's just angry right now. Let him vent his anger." Just as Dufang was about to attack, Nova stepped in between them. Nova said coldly, "Why are you so hot-headed? I can cool you down with just 1 slap, so behave yourself." Dufang glared at him and said, "Who are you?" At that moment, Grandpa Du sensed Nova's aura and thought, "This aura, it belongs to an ancient grandmaster. Our ancestors warned that if we ever encounter such a powerful master, we should never dare to fight him." Nova replied calmly, "You only need to know one thing. I'm someone who can defeat more people than you even while sleeping." When Dufang tried to attack him, Nova blocked the strike with just 1 hand. Taking advantage of the moment, Grandpa Du quickly announced, "Today's party ends here. I hope everyone enjoyed the celebration." Big B said, "Dad, we're leaving." Anyway, the marriage issue is already settled. As they were leaving, Suzuka said to Nova, Mr. Bodyguard, I'll take my leave now. By the way, I know that the person I was playing against wasn't Christian. It was you. Nova asked in surprise, How did you figure that out? Suzuka replied, I know Christian doesn't know how to play chess at all, and no chess master came here to help her. So the only person who could have guided her was you. Meanwhile, Christian watched them talking and said to Lu Mei, Nova is supposed to be my bodyguard, yet look at him laughing and chatting with her. Lu Mei teased her and said, Why do I suddenly feel jealousy in the air? Looks like your competition is going to be tough. Christian quickly replied, He's just my bodyguard, nothing more. Lu Mei smiled and asked, If he's only a bodyguard, then why are you so bothered? Annoyed, Christian shouted, Nova, if you don't come here right now, I'm leaving without you. Nova said to Suzuka, I should go now. Take care of yourself. And remember, learn to speak for yourself. Later that night, Christian and Lu Mei were taking a shower. Suddenly, Christian slipped and fell. Hearing her scream, Nova thought, What happened now? He rushed into the room, only to find both girls bathing. Christian shouted, What are you doing here? At that moment, Nova slipped on the wet floor and fell on top of Christian. Annoyed, Christian said, I knew it. You're a pervert. Don't tell me you came into my bathroom just to save me. Nova replied defensively, You screamed, so I thought you were in danger. Besides, don't worry, my job here will be over soon. I won't stay here long enough to bother you. Christian said, Go back to your room first. I'll change and come talk to you. After a while, Christian came to Nova's room. She asked, Is the 1 million salary not enough for you? Why are you talking about leaving? Nova replied, It's not about the salary, but I have to leave. Christian said angrily, You were the one who told me my life is in danger. You also promised to protect me. So why are you suddenly talking about leaving? If you're not here and someone attacks me, what will I do? Nova answered, Your dad is rich. He can hire someone even better than me. As she walked away, Christian said softly, But I won't find anyone better than you. I'm warning you. If you leave me, I won't forgive you. Lee Dagon Nova. Nova thought to himself, Why was she so angry? I thought she'd be happy if I said I was leaving. The next day at school, everyone excitedly said, Megan is back. Soon a girl arrived on a superbike. Nova asked Lu Mei, Who is Megan? Everyone seems to be talking about her. Lu Mei explained, She's one of the campus goddesses. She's also Larry's fiancée, so everyone respects her. Nova asked, And who is Larry? Christian said, You've been studying here for 15 days, and you still don't know about Megan and Larry? Just remember this. They're dangerous people. Don't mess with them. At that moment, Larry walked up to Megan and said, It's good to see you here. Another student came over and said, Brother Larry, most people here may not know this, but you do know that Megan is your future sister-in-law. Everyone here thinks she's your fiancée. Should I clarify your relationship to everyone? Larry replied coldly, Don't try to act smart in front of me. Just do what I tell you, nothing more, and don't even think about things I didn't ask you to do. Besides, the girl I actually like is about to transfer to this school. Once she arrives, everything will become clear. Megan asked curiously, Who is this girl that has made you so crazy about her? Larry replied, I met her in Japan. That day, she didn't just win a chess game against me, she also won my heart. Meanwhile, Nova looked at Megan and said, I have to admit, she's really beautiful. Christian quickly said, We're getting late for class. Stop staring at girls. Soon Nova reached his classroom. Zhao said, Brother Nova, do you know? A girl from Japan is transferring into our class today. Nova asked, Is our school really that famous? Zhao replied, It seems you know nothing about our school's history. That's why you're taking it lightly. Who taught business to Elon Musk and Bill Gates? This school did. Who taught football to Ronaldo and Messi? This school did. And who helped Ash get Pikachu? This school did. If I start listing all the great people trained by this school, it'll take the whole day. Nova said, I had no idea this school had such an amazing history. Just then the teacher entered and announced, Today, a chess prodigy has transferred into our class. Nova thought to himself, A chess prodigy? That sounds very familiar. Just then Suzuka entered the classroom. The boys immediately started whispering, Wow, she's so beautiful. It's like a flower has bloomed in a classroom full of thorns. Suzuka smiled and said, Nice to meet everyone. My name is Suzuka Hamazaki. Nova wondered, What is she doing here? The teacher said, You can sit wherever you like. Suzuka walked straight over and sat behind Nova. Lu Mei teased Christian and said, Christian, it looks like you'll have to start working harder. She's clearly after Nova now. Christian replied coldly, He's just a bodyguard. It doesn't matter to me. Meanwhile, the teacher said, Nova, don't disturb the new student. Every time you see a pretty girl, you boys start bothering her. A student then asked, Sir, are we going on the winter hiking trip again this year? The teacher replied, Yes, like every year, we'll be going on the winter hiking trip. Christian thought to herself, Nova's attention is completely on Suzuka now. I need to distract him. She secretly threw a pen at Nova. Annoyed, Nova said, Who did that? The teacher scolded him. I already warned you earlier, but you were talking then as well. Now you're disturbing the class again. When will you learn to stay quiet, Nova? Zhao whispered to Nova. Christian is angry because you were talking to Suzuka. You shouldn't do that. Nova replied, I'm her bodyguard, not her slave. I'm not going to do everything she wants. In fact, whatever she wants, I'll do the exact opposite. After class, Nova walked over to Suzuka. Suzuka laughed and said, Nova, you're really funny. Let's invite Christian and Lume to join us too. Lume said happily, Finally, we all get to meet together. Meanwhile, other students started whispering, Look at Larry, what is he doing? He's holding a bouquet of flowers. It looks like he's going to propose to Megan in front of everyone. Just then, Larry walked up to Suzuka and said, Would you like to have dinner with me? Ever since I saw you in Japan, I haven't been able to get you out of my mind. You have no idea how happy I am to see you here. Before Suzuka could answer, Nova stepped in and said casually, Thanks for the flowers. Actually, we were already planning to go out for dinner. If you want, you can join us. You can pay the bill. We won't mind. Later, they all arrived at a restaurant. As they were entering, suddenly an assassin attacked them. Christian shouted, That bastard Joker is here again. But wait, why is he wearing our school uniform? And why is he attacking Nova instead of me? Nova easily knocked the attacker to the ground. He said coldly, You can't be Joker. Tell me, who are you really? When Nova removed the attacker's mask, they saw that it was Du Feng, Christian's brother. Du Feng said angrily, At the last birthday party, you humiliated me. That's why I came here to teach you a lesson. Lume mocked him and said, And you ended up humiliating yourself again. Don't you feel ashamed doing such cheap tricks? Larry then said to Suzuka, Because of all this trouble, we couldn't even have dinner properly. How about we go somewhere else to eat, without these people? Ignoring him, Suzuka turned to Nova and asked, Nova, could you drop me home? Nova thought, I'm Christian's bodyguard. I can't leave her alone. But Christian said sarcastically, It seems Miss Hamazaki is very interested in my bodyguard. If you want to go with her, then go. Larry can drop us home. Suzuka asked softly, Is Christian angry with me? Nova replied, Don't take her words seriously. She says nonsense sometimes. Later, Nova dropped Suzuka at her house. He said, I didn't know you and Christian were neighbors. If I had known earlier, I would have dropped all of you together. Suzuka smiled and said, This is your first time at my house. At least come inside. Nova replied, Well, I do have some free time. Let's go inside and talk. But just as they were about to go in, Nova suddenly sensed a dangerous energy. He quickly said, Sorry, Suzuka. I have to leave right now. Suzuka asked worriedly, What happened? Is something wrong? Nova replied, I'll explain later. After Nova rushed away, Suzuka called her bodyguard and asked, Jaden, what's going on? Why did Nova suddenly leave in such a hurry? Jaden replied, There's a very dangerous aura coming from the house next door. That house belongs to Christian, the girl Nova works for. He probably rushed back to save her. The scene shifts. Christian was running for her life, trying to escape from Joker. Joker shouted while attacking, I gave you chances before, and that's why you survived. But today I'll launch such a deadly attack that you'll die before your bodyguard even arrives. A massive explosion occurs, blowing away half of the house. However, Lume and Christian remain unharmed, because Nova took the entire attack on his own body. Joker said coldly, I must admit, if loyalty had another name, it would be Lee Daigon Nova. Even the strongest fighters would be shredded by that attack, yet you still stepped in to protect your young miss. Nova said urgently, Christian, get out of here. Fighting him in this condition will be very difficult for me. He's much stronger than before. If he gets even a drop of your blood, it will become extremely hard for me to stop him. Joker laughed and said, What makes you think this girl can escape while I just stand here watching? Today, no one is leaving this house alive. Meanwhile, Suzuka and Jaden arrived outside Christian's house. Just then, Christian and Lume ran out of the house. Suzuka asked worriedly, Christian, where is Nova? At that moment, a massive explosion occurred inside the house. Jaden said seriously, There are two very powerful forces inside. One of them has become extremely weak, as if its life force is about to fade. Christian thought anxiously, Nova was already injured. I hope nothing has happened to him. Suzuka said to Jaden, Stay here with them and make sure they're safe. I'm going inside to check on Nova. Inside the house, Nova had already defeated Joker. Suzuka rushed in and asked, "Nova, are you okay? Dragging Joker along?" Nova said with a faint smile, "Don't worry, I've never lost in my life, and that record hasn't been broken today either." But as soon as he finished speaking, Nova collapsed. When Nova opened his eyes again, he found himself lying on a hospital bed. He thought, "Who brought me to the hospital? If they discover my healing ability, they'll start experimenting on me in a lab. I should leave before anyone notices." Just as he was about to leave, he noticed a very beautiful girl sleeping nearby. Nova thought, "Good thing she's asleep. I should get out of here quickly." As he was heading for the door, he saw a note on the door that read, "I already know your secret. Wake me up before leaving, or your secret won't stay safe." Nova walked over to the girl and said, "All right, wake up." The girl happily opened her eyes and said, "You're awake. Finally, now I can examine your body. I must say, your body is amazing. When you came here, you were seriously injured. Christian said you would recover, and look, you actually did." Nova replied firmly, "You're not allowed to examine my body. Aren't you shocked after discovering my secret?" The doctor replied calmly, "I would have been shocked if I didn't already know about your abilities. But if you can defeat a chess genius in a game and defeat a top criminal in a fight, then healing like this isn't that surprising." Nova asked cautiously, "Are you going to tell everyone about my secret?" The doctor smiled and said, "If you do one thing for me, I'll keep my mouth shut forever." Nova replied, "I'm a human being, not a product. I'm not selling my body." The doctor said, "Relax. I promise I won't harm you. I only want permission to conduct research on your body." Just then, Nova's phone rang. It was Big B calling. Nova answered and said, "I'll be there within 5 minutes." Meanwhile, the doctor thought, "This man is really interesting. I can't let him slip away." At the same time, Nova thought, "This girl is really beautiful. It's hard to even focus on what she's saying." The doctor said, "I'm heading home anyway. If you want, I can drop you at Christian's house." Soon they arrived at Christian's house. The doctor said, "I hope we meet again soon." Nova thought to himself, "Honestly, it would be better if we didn't." Inside the house, Suzuka, Big B, and the others were waiting for Nova. Suzuka said to the guards, "Everyone go outside. Until I give permission, no one should come inside." She then walked up to Nova and said emotionally, "You have no idea how happy I am. For a moment, I thought I had lost a good friend forever." Nova replied, "You shouldn't have entered the house like that. Please don't ever do something so dangerous again." Then Nova turned to Big B and said, "I'm quitting the job. I joined to protect your daughter from Joker. Now that the threat is gone, there's no reason for me to stay." Christian angrily said, "Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Don't tell me you're so scared after fighting Joker that you can't work for me anymore." Nova replied, "You're the one who always wanted me gone. So why are you stopping me now?" Christian said, "Crime Master Joker could attack me anytime. That's why I still need you." Nova replied, "Is he going to crawl out of his grave and attack you? He's already dead." Christian said seriously, "No, he isn't dead." Nova frowned and said, "How is that possible? I checked his pulse myself. It had stopped." Suzuka explained, "You're right that you killed him, but it's also true that Joker escaped. Jaden told us he had mastered a forbidden skill called Izanagi. By using it once, he can revive himself." Nova said, "But using Izanagi requires a huge sacrifice. A person can only use that skill once in their entire life. Joker has already killed many people to reach Christian. That means he'll stop at nothing to capture her." Christian asked nervously, "So does that mean I have to stay inside the house now?" Nova replied, "No. This is actually the time to go outside and show that we're not afraid of him. That way he'll make a mistake and attack us sooner." Big B asked, "Are you suggesting we use Christian as bait to lure Joker out?" Nova replied, "If we go outside and he attacks, at least we'll know when it's coming. But if we hide, he'll strike on a day we least expect. And this time he's stronger than before. Giving him more time would be a huge mistake." The next day, they all arrived at school. Nova said, "Today our campus is going on a hiking trip. I've lived in the mountains my entire life, so I doubt this hike will be difficult for me." Lume said, "The whole team is ready. First we'll travel a long distance by car, and then we'll start climbing the mountain." Some students whispered while looking at Nova. The 3 campus goddesses are all hanging out with Nova, and Suzuka is someone Larry likes. That guy really has guts. Meanwhile, Larry said confidently, "Every year our team wins the hiking competition. Honestly, it's become boring for us." Just then Christian arrived and said, "Larry, you're here before us." Larry grabbed Suzuka's hand and said, "Suzuka, welcome to our team mountain night." But Nova immediately stepped forward and said, "Thanks for the invitation, my friend. but Suzuka has already joined my team. Everyone began whispering. Nova really has a lot of courage. Everyone knows that Mountain Knight wins this competition every year. Yet he rejected their invitation and created his own team. He doesn't even realize how many problems he'll face if Mountain Knight becomes his opponent. Lume said, Larry, every year I've always been on your team, but this time I'm joining Nova's team, Christian said in shock. Lume, what are you doing? Mountain Knight is the team we joined from the beginning. How can you leave it like this? Lume replied calmly, sometimes we need to change things. Nova then said, Christian, if you listen to me, you should join my team too. Don't you remember that someone attacked you recently? It would be safer if you stayed with me. Christian replied, Larry is a martial artist. If something happens to me, he can protect me. Larry then said to Suzuka, that's exactly why you should join our team. Suzuka shook her head and said, sorry, but I don't trust you that much. Just then Zhao said, Brother Nova, I'm joining your team too. Christian laughed mockingly and said, I feel sorry for you two. You're both among the campus goddesses, yet you're joining a losing team. Nova replied calmly, Christian, if I'm not with you, how will I protect you? Christian responded coldly, protecting me is your responsibility. How you do it is your problem. Besides, these days you're not even acting like my bodyguard. You're acting like Suzuka's bodyguard. Suzuka angrily said, Christian, you're always angry. Don't you ever feel ashamed? The person you're insulting risked his life just yesterday to save you. There's a limit to being ungrateful. Nova sighed and said, forget it, Suzuka. People who refuse to understand never will. Let's go prepare for the hiking competition. Suzuka said confidently, don't worry about the funds. The Hamazaki family will take care of everything. Watching them leave, Christian said angrily, I will never join a team that has Suzuka in it. But in her heart she thought, Nova, you know me. You know I don't like Suzuka at all. Couldn't you ignore her just for me? You always prioritize her over me. That's why I'm forced to stay with this idiot Larry. Can't you understand my feelings even a little? Soon, everyone arrived at the starting point of the competition. Nova said enthusiastically, friends, just like the fire burning in my heart, spread your flames as well. We are Team Flame Riser. Let's show the world what we can do. Suzuka added proudly, we'll conquer the whole world in our hands. Seeing this, Larry's teammates mocked them. What are they doing? Giving speeches? This isn't a drama competition, it's a real competition. Christian said calmly, this is their first time working as a team. We shouldn't mock them. We also started like that once. Suzuka said to Nova, even if they laugh at you, I trust you completely. Nova replied, that's how the world works. People mock what they don't understand, but when reality appears in front of them, they can't handle it. Christian then stepped forward and said, all right, enough talking. Let's start the competition. With that, everyone jumped into their cars and drove off quickly. Nova said to his team, there's no need to rush. The real competition begins when we reach the mountain. Suzuka suggested, Nova, how about I drive? Off-road driving is very different from normal driving. You might have trouble. Nova replied confidently, no problem at all. He started the car and immediately crashed into a tree. Suzuka asked worriedly, Nova, are you all right? Nova scratched his head and said, people learn from their mistakes, and I've just made mine. Just then Larry called Suzuka and said, you still have time to join our team. A guy who can't even drive properly isn't going to help you win this competition. Suzuka replied coldly, why don't you focus on your own team instead of bothering me? Larry said angrily, what's so special about that guy that you trust him so much? Suzuka hung up the call and muttered, I don't want to waste time talking to him. Meanwhile, Larry thought angrily, what does that poor guy have that I don't? How can Suzuka like someone like him instead of me? Soon Nova and his team started their journey. Before long, Nova suddenly overtook Larry's car. Larry's teammates were shocked. They were so far behind us earlier. How did they suddenly get ahead? Christian said in disbelief. Nova only learned to drive a few days ago. How is he doing such amazing off-road driving on such a terrible road? Larry said angrily. Move aside, I'll drive now. I can't stand being behind that loser. He stepped on the accelerator and drove at full speed. Christian warned him, this isn't a racetrack. You're driving too fast. Larry replied stubbornly, I refuse to fall behind that bodyguard. Christian said, but he's driving much faster than us. We can't match that speed. Meanwhile, Nova stopped the car in front of a small restaurant. He said, finally, I really needed to use the restroom. Soon Larry's car also arrived there. Angry, Larry said, where did that bastard Nova go? He might not care about his own life, but he should at least think about his teammates. How can he drive so fast with such beautiful girls in his car? If he wanted to rest, he should have come alone. Lume said, Larry, you misunderstood. He wasn't racing you. He just needed to pee. That's why he drove so fast. Suzuka added teasingly, so you were the one racing him? And you still couldn't win. Larry awkwardly said, no, that's not what happened. Nova then said calmly, Larry, you called me just to provoke me. If you were really concerned about their safety, you could have called for that too. The truth is, you were racing me. Watching Lu Mei and Christian laughing together? Suzuka thought sadly, sometimes I feel bad about myself. I wish I could express my emotions like them instead of being so boring. Nova noticed her expression and said gently, we should never compare ourselves with others. The personality you think is boring might actually be the reason many people like you. Suzuka looked at him and asked softly, I don't know about others, but do you like me? Christian, hearing this, muttered irritably, I can't stand these two. Everywhere I go, they're together. Later they arrived at a small town to rest. Nova said happily, finally, we can relax. Suzuka looked around and said, why are you so happy seeing such a boring town? I don't see anything interesting here. Let's at least go have some coffee. While they were drinking coffee, Christian suddenly saw a post Suzuka had uploaded. A picture of her and Nova happily riding bicycles together. Larry looked at it and said, there was a place for cycling here? I had no idea. Christian said, we've been coming here for years, but we never really explored this place. Then they saw another post. Suzuka and Nova were sitting at a local stall, drinking together. Annoyed, Larry said, that idiot Nova is teaching Suzuka all the wrong things. Christian added, we've visited this village 5 or 6 times, yet we've never discovered the places they're going to. Larry said, let's go and see what they're actually doing. The scene shifts. Nova and his friends had arrived at a lodge to rest. Suzuka said, everyone can relax here comfortably. Suddenly, Nova held her hand and said, half asleep, you look really beautiful today. I've never looked at you this closely before. Right after saying that, he fell asleep. Smiling happily, Suzuka said softly, hearing that from you really makes me happy. Meanwhile, Larry and his team spent 5 hours searching for Nova and his group, but couldn't find them. Frustrated, Larry said, where did they go? Just then, he spotted Nova paying the lodge owner. Angrily, Larry shouted, Nova, you bastard, where is Suzuka? What were you doing in this lodge? Tell me what you did to them. I'll teach you a lesson today. But before he could react, Nova threw Larry aside with a single move. At that moment, Suzuka came out laughing and said, what's all this noise? You guys woke us up. The lodge owner explained, please don't fight here. This young master bought a lot of local mountain supplies from us. He was just making the payment. Larry's team was shocked. Mountain supplies? What's that? Nova explained. I found out that the mountain we're supposed to hike is currently covered in heavy snow, so it's closed for now. Instead of waiting idly, I thought we should experience mountain life up close. After all, the purpose of hiking is to gain experience. Larry's teammates asked, if the mountain is closed, what do we do now? Larry replied, it's just snow, it'll stop eventually. Once it does, we'll climb the mountain for sure. Suzuka then said, we're heading to town to sell the supplies. Does anyone want to come with us? Christian said excitedly, yes, I'll come too. It sounds fun. Soon they reached the market. Watching the girls sell items, Nova said, these girls are amazing. They've already sold half the mushrooms. Just then, a group of thugs approached them. They said mockingly, are you only selling mushrooms? Or are you selling something else too? Sell all your mushrooms to us. And as a bonus, hand yourselves over as well. Angered, Christian kicked one of them and said, get lost, you pervert. If I see you again, I'll break your legs. Nova quietly signaled his friends with an idea. The thug smirked and said, what happened? You got angry so quickly? We haven't even started yet. Nova grabbed his hand and said coldly, leave now. If you get beaten up here in the market, you'll be completely humiliated. The thugs left. Crying, Christian said, Nova, why didn't you do anything? Why did you let them go? Nova replied calmly, this is a public market. Creating a scene here wouldn't be right. I already scared them off, they won't come back. Christian said angrily, looks like you don't care about me at all. That's why you didn't do anything. Just then, they heard screams from behind. Curious, Christian turned around. Zhao came running and said, we went to meet some local guys. Those 3 thugs are getting beaten badly in the alley behind. We joined in too. Larry's friend added, Nova, your plan was brilliant. If we had beaten them in the market, people would have stopped us after a few hits. But since locals are beating them in the alley, no one will interfere. Honestly, your plan was even more satisfying than doing it ourselves. Annoyed, Larry said, are you done praising Nova? Can you shut up now? Christian thought to herself, I misunderstood Nova again. Watching Suzuka getting closer to Nova, Larry became even more irritated. He said, "I'm not wasting any more time in this useless village. I've decided, I'm going to conquer the mountain." Nova warned him, "Have you lost your mind? Going there right now is dangerous." Larry replied, "My brother conquered that mountain when it was even more dangerous. If he can do it, so can I." One of his teammates said, "But sir, your brother went there to rescue people." Suzuka added, "Please listen to me. You shouldn't go there right now. It's too dangerous." Christian thought, "If he's saying not to go, then I'll definitely go." She said, "Yes, we should go." Nova said seriously, "You're making a huge mistake." Christian replied, "I'm not a weak woman who hides behind a man, unlike some girls here who depend on men." The next day, military officers said, "Yesterday, some students from St. Paul Academy went into the mountains, and there's been no news from them since morning." Nova said, "They're experienced. Nothing should have happened to them yet." An officer replied, "They don't know how dangerous this place has become. Experience won't help here. Trees marked with blue ribbons indicate heavy snow. Red ribbons mean dangerous animals are nearby. If those students entered a red zone, no one will be able to save them. Since they entered without permission, they probably don't know about the ribbon system." Nova said firmly, "That's why I'm going to rescue them." His team immediately said, "And we're coming with you. A good team never leaves its captain alone." The officer warned, "They've already put their lives in danger, and now you're doing the same." Nova replied seriously, "One of them is my responsibility. I'm her bodyguard. I can sense her aura and reach her quickly. If I fail to protect my young miss, then my existence has no meaning." Suzuka added, "Officer, don't doubt Nova's capabilities. Whenever there's a serious problem, he's the one who stands up and solves it." Soon, Nova and his team set off into the mountains. After walking for an hour, they went deep inside, but due to low oxygen, everyone became exhausted and collapsed. Nova said, "The tree ahead has a blue ribbon. That means the ice there is very dense. We shouldn't go that way." Suddenly, they heard the roar of a bear. One of them said, "That's a bear, and it sounds very angry." The scene shifts. They saw Larry being attacked by the bear. Just as the bear was about to kill him, Nova arrived and saved him. Lu Mei asked, "Christian, are you okay?" Zhao asked, "Larry, did the bear hit you badly?" Larry said, "The bear is distracted. Let's get out of here." Christian said worriedly, "But what about Nova? He came here to save us." Larry replied, "If we try to save him, we won't win." Nova shouted, "Throw me the rope." Using the rope, he tried to restrain the bear, but the bear threw him far away. One teammate said, "I have a gun, but I don't know how to use it properly." Lu Mei said, "Why didn't you use it earlier?" Suzuka warned, "If you use it now, you might accidentally hit Nova." Suddenly Christian shouted, "Look, Nova is winning." Larry thought, if Nova kills the bear, everyone will admire him. "I'll kill it myself." He grabbed the gun and said, "Let me shoot. My aim is excellent." Zhao tried to stop him. "I won't let you do this." But Larry kicked him aside and fired the gun. A moment passed. His friend said, "Nova isn't reacting, and neither is the bear. Did you miss?" Then Nova suddenly restrained the bear and escaped. Suzuka noticed blood on Nova's body. The bullet had actually hit him. Furious, Nova walked up to Larry and punched him hard. Nova said coldly, "If you don't have a brain, then don't try to use one." Larry replied nervously, "I was just trying to help. My aim slipped." Nova said, "You shot at me. I didn't hit you for that, because even if you try, you can't harm me. But you dared to hit my friend in front of me. For that, I won't spare you." He then beat Larry repeatedly. Larry's friend stopped him and said, "Stop, he'll die." Nova warned coldly, "This is your first and last warning. If you touch my friends again, I'll bury you alive." Lu Mei then said, "Nova, you're bleeding." Nova replied calmly, "Don't worry. I noticed the bullet, it only grazed me. And don't tell anyone about my healing ability." Nova then gathered everyone and said, "Our only goal now is to get out of here safely. Don't waste time on negativity." Suzuka said, "You're such a good person, Nova. Even after everything, you're still trying to save someone like Larry." Suddenly, the weather worsened dramatically. Christian asked, "What's happening?" Nova said urgently, "This is an avalanche. We need to move quickly or we'll be buried under the snow." Terrified, one teammate said, "I'm really scared." Nova shouted, "Everyone hold the rope tightly and follow me." Soon, the avalanche rushed toward them. Elsewhere, officers said, "This is bad. After an avalanche, their survival chances are very low." But thanks to Nova's leadership, everyone survived. Just as they were about to return, the snow beneath Christian suddenly collapsed, and she fell down the slope, dragging others with her. Nova shouted, "Everyone stop moving. For now, we're safe." Lu Mei said, "It's a good thing you're here, Nova. Otherwise, we'd all be dead." But just then, the branch they were hanging from started cracking. Larry said impatiently, "Do you even have a plan, Nova? Or are you just going to keep us hanging here?" Nova replied, "I don't have a plan. If you have one, untie the rope and save yourself." Lume laughed and said to Suzuka, "You know, Nova's hands are really soft. I've never felt this comfortable before, being in his arms." Suzuka said jealously, "He's mine. Stay away from him." Larry's friend said, "We might die any moment, and you're arguing over a guy?" Just then, Christian panicked, causing the branch to shake even more. One teammate said, "We have no chance of surviving." Nova shouted, "Everyone stop moving, or we'll all die." Lume said weakly, "When I fell, I think I hit something. My chest hurts badly." And with that, she fainted. Nova said, "She has a very high fever. It looks like she suffered a serious injury." Just then, Nova noticed a bird nearby and said, "Seeing a bird during an avalanche means there must be a cave somewhere nearby." Soon, he spotted a cave a short distance away and quickly let everyone inside. Nova warned, "Don't move your bodies, or it will be very difficult for me to pull you." But just then, Lume fainted. Christian looked around and said, "Isn't this cave a bit strange? Why are there coffins here?" Nova replied, "They're not coffins, they're just furniture." "Christian, Lume's condition is very serious. I need your help to treat her." After examining her, Nova realized that Lume's ribs were broken. He said, "For now, I'll stabilize her condition. Don't let anyone come in." Suzuka asked worriedly, "But Nova, you were injured too." Nova replied, "I'll handle it." Watching all this, Larry scoffed, "I don't think Lume is that badly hurt. Nova is just pretending to be a doctor to take advantage of the girls." Suzuka snapped, "We're stuck here because of you. You have no right to say anything." Nova then instructed, "Everyone, gather all the food you have. It might take 1 or 2 days to get out of here, so we need to ration it properly." Everyone from Nova's team handed over their food. Larry's friend said, "I didn't have much, but I gave whatever I had." Nova noticed and said, "You don't even have sleeping bags?" The friend replied, "We only brought a tent, but we dropped it while running from the bear." Nova said, "Then you'll have to sleep on the ground." Larry complained, "I've never slept on the ground, and it's freezing." Another teammate said, "As long as the fire is burning, we won't feel too cold." Nova added, "Since food is limited, everyone will only get enough to survive." Larry and his friends refused. "We're not gonna listen to you. We'll eat as much as we want." Thinking to himself, Larry said, "Food is too important right now. I won't let him control it." Annoyed, Nova said, "Larry, how can you be so shameless? Every time you speak, I regret saving you." "Fine, eat as much as you want, but don't come asking us for food later." Just then, Lume woke up weakly and said, "Nova, I'm in so much pain. Am I going to die in this cave?" Nova reassured her, "No one dies from a couple of broken bones. Once we get back, you'll receive proper treatment and recover. I have some herbs for emergencies, but I need to examine your injury properly to choose the right one." Lume agreed. "Okay, that's fine." She showed him her injury, and Nova secretly used his healing power. After a while, he said, "I've located the broken bone. I'll fix it soon." Within just 15 minutes, he healed her rib. Grateful, Lume said, "Thank you so much." At that moment, Christian walked in and said suspiciously, "What's going on here? He'll probably say you were treating her, but it didn't look like treatment at all." Nova replied calmly, "Believe it or not, I was doing my job honestly." Christian teased, "Did you enjoy doing your job?" Nova smirked, "I won't lie, I might have taken a little peek." The next day, Larry said loudly, "We've been betrayed. Nova trapped us here and ran away." Suzuka frowned and said, "What's your problem, Larry? Why are you shouting so early in the morning?" Larry replied, "That idiot Nova ran away while we were sleeping. Now you can see how selfish he really is." Suzuka shot back, "Who's selfish is already clear. Some people here are so low that they couldn't even share their food." Larry argued, "What has he even done that makes you trust him so much?" Suzuka replied firmly, "He's done things you couldn't achieve even in 100 lifetimes." Meanwhile, Larry's friend complained while eating, "This is the worst food I've ever had." Larry said, "Everyone trusted Nova so much, and now that bastard even took the rope and ran away. We have no way to get out of here. If you had chosen me as the leader, everyone would have survived. Anyway, my family will come to rescue me soon," Suzuka said coldly. "So what you're saying is, you won't take us along when your family comes to save you? Fine, don't. No one here wants to go with you anyway. With everything you say, you keep proving what kind of person you are." Just then, Nova returned carrying fish. "I've arranged food. Lume, you're injured. After drinking my soup, you'll recover quickly. Let me check your injury again." Lume said, "Okay, go ahead." Nova joked, "Don't make weird noises like last time, or people will start doubting my intentions." The scene shifts to a military camp. An officer said, "All 7 students from St. Paul Academy are missing. We must find them at any cost." Another officer added, "The group's leader is Larry Carden, the younger brother of Patrick Carden. When the mountain was in terrible condition, Patrick rescued many people. His younger brother should at least be capable of saving himself." Another officer said, "If these kids were from an ordinary family, they would have been dead by now. But since they all belong to powerful families, they're probably still alive, just trapped somewhere in the mountains." The team leader added, "All the families are terrified right now, except one, the Dew family. They believe that as long as Christian's bodyguard Nova is with her, nothing will happen to their daughter." An officer frowned and said, "But this Nova hasn't shown any major achievements. Why does a powerful family like the Dew family trust him so much?" Just then, a blue-haired girl stepped forward and said, "That's because the Dew family knows how to recognize talent." The leader asked, "Zui, what are you doing here?" She replied, "Big B personally hired Nova, and I want to meet him myself. That's why I'm going on this rescue mission too." Meanwhile, back in the cave, everyone was eating the food Nova had prepared. Lume said, "Larry, you were just bad-mouthing Nova, and now you're eating his food so happily. Should we say you're surviving on his leftovers now?" Larry threw the food away angrily and said, "I'd rather starve than eat something like this." Meanwhile, his friend thought, "I can tolerate the insult, but this food is actually really delicious." Larry said, "Now that we have the rope, we should try to get out." Nova replied, "This rope isn't long enough to reach the bottom of the mountain. It only covers part of the distance. The rest requires climbing. And judging by your faces, none of you have the strength to climb even half of it." Larry said angrily, "So you're saying you're the only one capable of climbing? You're underestimating me." Nova smirked. "I'd have to consider you first before underestimating you. I've never taken you seriously. Counting someone like you in my league? I haven't fallen that low." Furious, Larry said, "You've crossed the line." His friend whispered, "Just tolerate it for now. Every dog has its day, and today is his." While eating, Christian said, "Nova, you gave food to everyone, but what about yourself? I'll eat only half. Please, you eat something too." Just then, Lume felt intense pain, and Nova rushed to help her. She asked weakly, "Why are you doing so much for me?" Nova replied, "I like helping beautiful girls, and if a person doesn't help others in their pain, then they don't deserve to be called human." Emotional, Lume hugged him and said, "You really are a good person." Nova then said, "We don't have much food left. I'm going out to arrange food for the afternoon and evening. Wait for me." Watching him leave, Larry said, "I could do that too." His friend replied, "There's a big difference between saying and doing. No matter what we say about Nova, deep down we know we can't do what he does." Suzuka said seriously, "Larry, I don't understand. What problem do you have with Nova? Is it really that hard to admit that he's better than you in some ways? Especially when he's helping us so much in this situation." Larry replied, "You're all too naive. You can't see what I can. Nova is trying too hard to act good. His true nature must be terrible." Suddenly, a rope wrapped around Larry's friend. He panicked and said, "Is that Nova?" But when he looked up, he froze in shock. Standing there was none other than Crime Master Joker. Joker said menacingly, "My dear Christian, it's time for us to meet again. I hope you've been eating well and building up your blood so I can drink it and become more powerful." Terrified, Christian screamed, "Nova, where are you? Save me from Joker." Meanwhile, Nova sensed something and rushed back at full speed. He arrived instantly and kicked Joker away. Shocked, Larry said, "What is going on? Who is this bastard?" Nova said calmly, "Nothing much. It's hero time. I've killed this bastard once before. I can do it again." Joker smirked. "Once bitten, twice shy? I've lost to you not once but twice. That's why this time, I came fully prepared." He attacked, but Nova dodged easily. Joker said, "This time, my target isn't Christian, it's you. If I don't kill you, I won't be able to face the underworld." Soon, both of them ended up hanging from ropes during the fight. Joker said, "I'm Crime Master Joker. When people see me, even their loved ones abandon them. And yet you, who have no real relationship with Christian, risk your life for her." Nova replied coldly, "You wouldn't understand this kind of bond. Just know that today, you're going to get beaten badly." With that, Nova attacked and severed Joker's fingers, but Joker retaliated with a powerful blow. Watching the fight, Christian said anxiously, "Joker is much stronger this time." Nova shouted, "Cut his rope! We'll finish him today." Christian panicked. "No, if we cut his rope, you'll fall too." Larry said coldly, "This isn't the time to worry about Nova. We should cut both ropes so that bastard has no chance of surviving." Nova shouted, "Don't cut the rope. If you do, none of you will be able to escape," Larry said. Fine, Nova, we'll do exactly what you say. Christian hesitated. But Nova is in danger. What if he loses? Larry replied. Then we cut the rope. If sacrificing one person saves everyone, so be it. At that moment, Larry's friend stepped forward and cut Joker's rope. He said firmly, if someone has to be sacrificed, it will be that bastard Joker, not Nova. We're not so shameless that we betray the one who saved us. As a result, Joker fell down the cliff and everyone worked together to pull Nova back up safely. Larry said, I don't think he's going to wake up. Now we'll have to handle everything ourselves. Lume snapped. Can't you ever say anything good? Every time you open your mouth, you only say nonsense. Larry replied, it's obvious Nova is counting his last breaths. Why are you still waiting for him? Suzuka said coldly, I'm not interested in your nonsense. Larry argued, I'm talking about everyone's safety, and you're reacting like I'm saying something wrong. Just then, Larry's friend said, look over there. There's a rope hanging from that tree. Maybe it's the same rope the killer used to climb up. If we tie our rope to it, we might be able to get down the mountain. Larry said confidently, looks like luck is on our side. We'll use that rope, and then everyone will have to follow us. Christian hesitated and said, but what if Joker is waiting below? If he could fight Nova, I don't think he died from the fall. Larry nodded. You do have a point, Suzuka said firmly. I don't care which path you choose. Until Nova wakes up, I'm not moving an inch. Larry replied. And what if he's dead? What's the point of waiting for someone who isn't even breathing? Suzuka, you know I like you. Just say yes once, I'll take care of you. Angry, Suzuka said. You're arrogant and selfish. We're stuck here because of your stubbornness. Nova is in this condition because of you. If it weren't for you, he would never have been like this. Larry's friend tried to calm him down. We shouldn't get angry at her. Larry said, it's your choice. Whoever wants to come with me can come. Christian said, Larry, I'll go with you. She then handed a letter to Suzuka and said, when Nova wakes up, give this to him. Lume said, Christian, shouldn't you wait for Nova? He risked so much to save you, and now you're leaving him? Christian replied, I know what I'm doing. Nova will understand. Meanwhile, the military continued searching for them. Back in the cave, Lume suddenly felt pain again. Nova woke up and said, show me what's wrong. Relieved, Lume said, finally, you're awake. Nova smiled, I'm not going to die that easily. Suzuka then told him, Larry, Christian, and the others have already left. Christian left a message for you. After reading the message, Nova thought, what have you done, Christian? Just then, Zhao said, the military has arrived to rescue us. We're finally safe. Nova replied, that's good news, for all of you. Suzuka asked, what do you mean? Aren't you coming with us? Nova said seriously, Christian knew Joker wasn't dead. That's why she went with Larry's group, to lure him away from us. I can't leave her to die. Zhao asked in shock, brother, both you and Joker have unbelievable power. Are you even human? Suzuka added, I was wondering the same. Your physical strength is far beyond normal people. Nova explained, in ancient times, people were far more powerful than us. But over time, they forgot these abilities. Only a few have inherited ancient martial arts, and those people possess this level of power. Suzuka said, so you're an ancient martial artist? Nova replied, we're not superhuman. We just understand our bodies and unlock their full potential. Zhao added, that explains your incredible healing ability. Nova said, honestly, I'm nothing in the martial world. There are far stronger people out there who haven't even revealed themselves. Just then, a helicopter arrived nearby. Zui called out, so you're all here? Where are the others? Nova replied, they separated from us a while ago. Lume asked worriedly, Christian will be okay, right? Nova said confidently, as long as I'm here, nothing will happen to her. Lume asked, can I come with you? Nova shook his head. You'll only be in more danger, I promise. I'll bring Christian back safely. He then helped everyone board the helicopter and said, take them away, officer. Zhu replied, I'm not leaving. I'll stay and help you catch Gogo. Nova warned, it could be dangerous. She smiled and said, I've loved danger since childhood. My name is Zui Murray, you can call me Zui. Soon, Nova and Zui followed the footprints deeper into the mountains. After a while, they found Larry, surrounded by snow wolves. Just as a wolf was about to attack him, Nova jumped in and saved him. Larry said, Nova, what are you doing here? And who is this girl? If you came to save me, why are you so late? These wolves were about to eat me. Zui said sharply, can you shut up for 2 seconds? Your voice is irritating the wolves even more. Nova said, there are too many wolves here, and we only have one gun. I hope your aim is good. Zui replied, I've never faced this many opponents at once before. Nova said confidently, don't worry. As long as I'm here, nothing will happen to you. We don't need to kill all of them. We just need to take down their leader. Once the leader is dead, the rest will scatter on their own. Pointing ahead, he added, that silver wolf is their leader. Zui took the shot and killed the leader, and instantly all the wolves scattered and ran away. Nova said, when I used to live in the mountains, I learned a lot about how animals behave. Then he turned to Larry and asked, where is Christian? Larry replied nervously, I don't know. As soon as we started descending, she ran off in a different direction. Zui, please get me out of here. I'm really scared. Nova said, Zui, take Larry with you. I'll go find Christian. Zui nodded. Take care, Nova. Nova smiled. With such beautiful girls worrying about me, how could anything happen to me? Soon, Nova found Joker. Joker placed Christian on the ground and said, we've played enough hide and seek. Today, this ends. Nova noticed that Joker had drunk Christian's blood. Furious, he said, if anything happens to her, I won't spare you. Joker laughed. You showed up before I could finish my work. After drinking her blood, I've become far more powerful than before. Killing you won't be difficult. Nova replied calmly, we'll see about that. Joker attacked using a powerful force, sending Nova flying as he coughed up blood. Joker said, you stand no chance against my new power. Using a gravity-like force, he slammed Nova into the ground. Then he sneered. One thing I never understood. Why do you risk everything to save this girl? You have no real connection to her. Today, you'll die trying to be a hero. Christian cried out, Joker, you want my blood, right? Take it, but let Nova go. Joker replied coldly, I'd give up all the wealth in the world just to kill him. The pleasure of killing this bastard is greater than conquering the entire world. Mocking him further, he said, I feel sorry for your master. He wasted all his time training trash like you. Coughing blood, Nova said angrily, don't you dare speak about my master like that. Christian begged, please let Nova go. I'll never forgive you if you don't. Joker smirked, I sealed your body, yet you still broke free. If you were a martial artist, you'd be incredibly powerful. Christian said urgently, Nova, after drinking my blood, he became stronger. If you drink even a little of it, you'll become stronger too. Nova shook his head. I won't stoop to that level just for power. Joker laughed. Maybe you won't, but I will. Don't worry, I'll drain her blood soon. But first, I'll kill you. Just as Joker moved in to finish him, Nova suddenly broke through to a new level, soul casting realm. Grabbing Joker's arm, Nova said, thanks to you, I managed to break through. Something that was difficult before became easy because of this situation. Joker said in shock, how is this possible? Nova replied, if you had killed me while you were busy talking, you might have won. But after experiencing death up close, I leveled up. Now I'll show you what real power looks like. Joker thought, I've never sensed such terrifying energy before. How can someone this young be this powerful? Nova said, you're also in the soul casting realm. The difference is, you got there through shortcuts, while I earned it through hard work. With that, he delivered a devastating punch. Christian exclaimed, that was incredible. Joker, now desperate, said, Nova, let me go. I promise I'll never come near that girl again. Nova replied coldly, you're like an annoying fly, and I'm tired of your buzzing. Joker snapped, you're going too far. Know your place. Nova said, if you knew who I was, you wouldn't dare talk like this. Joker growled, let's see what this Lee Daigon Nova can do. He opened his chakra points, becoming even stronger. Christian said in shock, how did he suddenly become this powerful? Nova explained, he sacrificed his life force for extra power. He wants to kill me before he dies. Hide somewhere safe. Don't let him touch you. Joker smashed the ground with a single punch. Nova said, pass me the gun. He grabbed it and fired at Joker, but Joker charged forward and said, if I die, I'll take you with me. He then dragged Nova and jumped into the water. Panicking, Christian said, I can't just watch Nova die. She jumped into the water to save him, but moments later, Nova emerged on his own. The two of them began heading back toward camp. While talking, Nova suddenly collapsed. Christian thought, he's used too much energy. He's completely exhausted. They reached a cave and she lit a fire. Shivering, Nova said, I feel very cold. Christian realized he has a high fever. If he doesn't get warmth, his condition will worsen. She wrapped him in her jacket and stayed close to keep him warm. The next morning, Christian said, Nova, wake up. It's morning. But even after trying to wake him repeatedly, he didn't respond. Worried, she said, has he not recovered yet? Then she noticed blood coming from his nose. She said, stop acting, Nova. I know you're already fine. Just then, Zui arrived with a helicopter to rescue them. 3 days later, back home, Christian said happily, finally, we're back. This sofa has never felt this comfortable before. Suzuka said, Christian, Nova is here too. At least behave a little. Christian replied casually, after what happened in the cave, I can act however I want in front of him. Nova said awkwardly. Christian, don't bring that up. Curious, Suzuka asked. What happened in the cave? Christian smiled and said, that's a secret. I'm not telling you. Nova said, Joker is already dead. Last time he somehow managed to come back, but this time there's no chance of that happening. Does this mean my job here is finally done? Christian asked. What do you mean by that? Lume added. So what if Joker is gone? There are still many dangers around. We still need you to protect us. Nova replied calmly. Even ordinary bodyguards can handle those kinds of dangers. Now that my job is done, it doesn't feel right for me to stay here any longer. I guess it's time for me to say goodbye to all of you. I'm going to collect my salary from the boss. If fate allows, we'll meet again. Christian thought to herself, looks like I'll have to use my old plan. If no danger comes to me, then I'll create one myself. Suzuka said, isn't that wrong? Christian replied confidently, don't worry. I've contacted very professional kidnappers. They won't make any mistakes. Lume hesitated. Last time, when we made a plan like this, it turned into a real problem. Are you sure this time will be fine? Scene shifts. The same group of men from before arrives to kidnap Christian. One of them says, Boss, aren't we too few in number? Last time, we even blew up her bodyguard with a bomb, and he still came back. With so few of us, we won't even be able to touch him. The boss replied, this time, don't focus on the bodyguard. Just grab Christian quickly and leave. Once we have Big B's daughter, he'll gladly transfer all his property to us. Meanwhile, Nova had already left to meet the boss and collect his salary. He said, I'm just going to collect my salary. Why are you three following me? Christian replied, you're my bodyguard. Your job is to follow my orders. Stop asking questions and just drive. On the way, Nova noticed some suspicious men on the road. Getting out of the car, he said, brother, move your car to the side. But the men surrounded him and said, we're not moving the car. We're moving you. Christian, quietly come sit in our car or we'll smash your bodyguard's head in 2 minutes. Lume whispered, Christian, you hired very professional people. Their acting is amazing. Christian replied nervously, the problem is, I didn't hire them. These guys are real. Nova said, so you're the same people who attacked with a bomb last time? What made you think bringing so few men would work? One of the thugs grabbed Christian. She cried, Nova, help me. Thug said casually, sister, you're holding me too tightly. It hurts. Christian whispered, you're so delicate. Just act like I told you. The thug thought, what kind of situation is this? I'm the kidnapper, yet she's teaching me how to kidnap her. In the next moment, Nova used his power and knocked all of them unconscious. The boss, terrified, ran away. Christian shouted, you had a gun. Were you saving it for New Year? Why didn't you use it? Nova replied, look, Christian, I know you're trying to stop me from leaving, but tricks like these won't work. Just then, Christian's grandfather's assistant arrived and said, Miss Christian, please come home. Your grandfather has called you for a chess match. Christian immediately acted and said, Nova, you have to help me. You know I can't play chess. If you don't help me, my secret will be exposed, and they'll send me to Japan. Lume smiled. I have to admit, Grandpa's timing is perfect. Scene shifts to the chess club. Christian looked around and said, is there some big competition going on? Why are there so many people here? Nova replied, compared to the last match, cheating here will be much harder. As they entered, people started whispering, look, that's the #1 chess player from St. Paul Academy. He's even smarter than we heard. Nova smiled proudly. Are you talking about me? Thanks for the compliment. Christian said, they're not talking about you. They turned and saw Larry standing behind Nova. Larry mocked, chess is a game for intelligent people. What are you doing here, Nova? Nova replied sarcastically, you're absolutely right. I'm a fool. If I weren't, I wouldn't have saved an ungrateful person like you so many times. I should have left you to die in front of a bear or wolves. Larry said angrily, you saved me once, and now you're showing off? At that moment, Dufeng stepped forward and said, if someone saved my life, I would never talk like that. Christian already told me what happened in the mountains, how that bear was beating you senseless. If Nova hadn't arrived in time, you wouldn't even be standing here right now. Larry replied arrogantly, I'm the young master of a powerful family with an excellent hiking record. Who is he compared to me? Just an ordinary bodyguard. I don't need to prove I'm better. I already know I am. One of Larry's followers said, Brother Larry, should I throw him out? Nova replied coldly, try touching me once, and I'll break more bones than you even know exist. Dufeng added firmly, touching Nova means offending the Du family. If anyone here has the courage, go ahead and try. Christian said in surprise, did the sun rise from the west today? You used to dislike Nova. Why do you suddenly like him so much? Dufeng replied, before, I didn't know what Nova had done for our family. When I found out, I felt ashamed of my behavior. Just then, Patrick called out, "Larry, come here." Larry asked, "What is it, brother?" Patrick said, "I'm going to hold a chess match with the head of the Du family. On my side, I'm putting the snow ruby as a bet." Hearing this, Du Feng was shocked. Nova said casually, "Why are you so surprised?" "It's just a normal pill that helps unlock a person's martial arts potential," Patrick said. "Everyone here knows how badly the Du family needs the snow ruby. Du Feng has tried countless times, but he still hasn't been able to become a martial artist. That's why they're willing to do anything to get this pill." Grandpa Du responded, "Tell me, what do you want from our side?" Patrick said, "I want your granddaughter, Christian, to marry my friend Jack Walker, the successor of the Walker family." Smirking, Christian said, "You won't be able to defeat my grandfather, even in your dreams." Grandpa Du calmly replied, "Christian and her father separated from the Du family years ago. Even though I'm her grandfather, I've never fulfilled that role properly, so I have no right to make decisions for her. She has already sacrificed once for the family. I won't use her like that again." Du Feng added, "If the price of this useless pill is my sister, then I don't want it." Patrick sneered, "Then what will you do? You're nothing but a loser. If you had even a little talent, none of this would be happening. Now stay quiet and let the elders talk. Your fate is being decided here." Grandpa Du said firmly, "I won't bet on Christian. If you want to bet on something else, name it." Then he declared, "My bet is our family's ultimate sword." Hearing this, the entire crowd was shocked. Nova asked Christian, "What is this ultimate sword? Why is everyone so shocked?" Christian replied, "It's an extremely rare treasure. I've never even seen it myself." Grandpa Du then had the sword brought out and said, "This is one of the strongest swords in the world. Even a novice could defeat a master swordsman with this weapon." Seeing its power, Nova said, "I have to admit, that's incredible." Grandpa Du asked Patrick, "Will this work as the bet?" Patrick replied, "I must say, Mr. Du, your courage has truly surprised me." Du Feng quickly said, "Grandpa, don't exchange this for that pill. Compared to this sword, the pill is worthless." Grandpa Du replied gently, "Everyone in the family knows how talented you are. The only problem is the blockage in your body. Once that's removed, you'll surprise everyone in martial arts." Du Feng said emotionally, "Grandpa, please don't make such a big sacrifice for me." People in the crowd whispered, "When the next generation of a family turns out useless, it causes so many problems." Grandpa Du said firmly, "You may fool the world, but you can't fool me. You act like a spoiled and useless young master, but in reality, you work harder than anyone. The only reason you haven't succeeded is because of that blockage. We all know how much you care about this family and our honor. For you, we can do this much." Patrick laughed. "That was quite an emotional drama, but I think it's time to start the game." Du Feng muttered, "If only there were a way for me to become a martial artist right now, I'd end this immediately." Nova said calmly, "Relax. Why are you already assuming your grandfather will lose? What if he wins? Then you'll keep your sword and still get the pill. If you keep talking, he won't be able to concentrate." The match began and Grandpa Du made the first move. Even after an hour, the game was still ongoing. People in the crowd whispered, "What an incredible match. It's been an hour and we still can't look away. This is a battle between an old veteran and a new prodigy." Suddenly, Nova noticed Du Feng was missing. Christian said, "He was just here a moment ago." Nova replied, "Wait here, I'll go check on him." Nova soon found Du Feng. Du Feng said bitterly, "Did you come here to laugh at me too?" Nova replied, "No, I came to see if you're okay." Du Feng said, "Every night, I dream that I've become a martial artist, but when I wake up, I'm still the same loser. My grandfather has worked so hard for me. Today, he even risked the family's treasure, all because of someone as useless as me." "Nova, you're a powerful martial artist. Can you help me break through?" Nova replied, "Everyone has their own method of breaking through. What works for one person may not work for another." Falling to his knees, Du Feng begged, "Nova, I'm begging you. Please help me." Nova said, "I usually break through when I'm close to death. My first breakthrough happened when I was fighting a tiger in the mountains." Du Feng asked, "Do I really have to touch death to break through?" Soon, Du Feng brought Nova to a mountain. Nova warned him, "I'm telling you in advance, my method is extremely dangerous. Don't even think about trying it lightly." Then Nova added, "I've examined your body. 2 blocked vessels are preventing your breakthrough. I can clear them using my needles." Du Feng said excitedly, "That's amazing." Nova cautioned, "But be careful. There's a high chance you could become crippled, and the pain, it will be unbearable." Moments later, loud screams echoed from the mountain. Nova said, "Looks like the needle worked. Maybe with one more, I can turn you into a martial artist." But before Nova could continue, Dufeng suddenly jumped off the mountain without listening to him. Dufeng shouted, "Nova, I'm going to die. Why can't I become a martial artist?" Nova said calmly, "Stabilize your body. I'll make you a martial artist right now." As he said this, Nova inserted a needle into Dufeng's neck. And with that, Dufeng finally became a martial artist. The scene shifts back to the chess hall. Someone rushed in and reported, "Dufeng jumped off the mountain." Grandpa Du was shocked and said, "What are you saying?" In that moment of distraction, he accidentally made a wrong move on the chessboard. Patrick immediately said, "I win. Finally, the sword is mine." Big B said, "Dad, I'll go check what happened." But just then, Nova walked in and said, "What's there to check? We're completely fine." Dufeng stepped forward and said excitedly, "Grandpa, I've become a martial artist." Grandpa Du said happily, "Yes, your inner energy has become much stronger than before." Patrick smirked and said, "Congratulations on your grandson's achievement. Anyway, since I've already won, I'll take my leave." Big B objected, "My father made that last move by mistake. It shouldn't count. You haven't won yet." But Grandpa Du said firmly, one of the biggest rules in chess is that a move, once made, cannot be taken back. Whether it was a mistake or not, a loss is still a loss." As Patrick walked away, he said mockingly, "I must say, obtaining the Du family's greatest treasure is truly something to be proud of." Dufeng said angrily, "I'm so furious right now." Nova stopped him and said, "If you attack him in front of everyone, people will say the Du family couldn't accept defeat." Grandpa Du added, "Nova, I've heard a lot about you, but you're even wiser than I expected. This is not the right time to react." Patrick sneered, "Don't even think about reacting. If I make a move here, things will get very messy." Big B replied angrily, "What do you think you can do to us? Even if your entire Cardin family stood against Nova alone, you still wouldn't stand a chance. So watch your tone." Nova added coldly, "A weapon as extraordinary as that sword doesn't suit someone as worthless as him." As they walked outside, Nova discreetly struck Jack's leg with a needle, causing him to fall. People started laughing. "So this is the guy Patrick wants Christian to marry? He can't even stand properly." Dufeng said, "I didn't attack him." Patrick replied angrily, "You think I don't know what you did?" Nova said casually, "This is between your family and the Du family. Why would I interfere?" Larry mocked, "Because you survive off their leftovers." Patrick stopped him and said, "Larry, there's no need to get angry. We've defeated them so badly that they can't accept it, so now they're resorting to cheap tricks." Jack complained, "Boss, someone attacked me with a needle." Nova then said, "I have a way to get the sword back." Christian asked, "Are you planning to beat them up and take it back?" Nova replied, "If that's what we wanted, we could have taken it already. But we'll do it properly. Since we lost it through chess, we'll win it back through chess." As Patrick was leaving, he said mockingly, "The Du family has fallen so low that they can't even accept defeat. It's good that the sword is with me now. They don't deserve it." Christian shouted, "Wait a second. I, Du Christian, challenge you to a chess match." The crowd buzzed in shock. "Did she just challenge Patrick? He's a chess prodigy." Patrick said, "Creating a scene won't help you." Christian replied boldly, "You're trying to run away because you don't have the courage. You know my grandfather didn't truly lose. It was just a mistake. You got that sword by luck. That's why you're afraid to bet against me." "Fine, let's bet on something else." Patrick said, "What do you even have left to offer?" Christian replied, "I'll bet myself. If I lose, I'll marry your loser friend." Jack said happily, "Looks like God is on my side." Patrick smirked, "That's not enough." Just then, Suzuka stepped forward and said, "If I put myself on the line as well, would that be enough?" Patrick smiled. "Oh, you're the girl Larry likes, right? Fine, this just got interesting. We'll meet again in 15 days at my chess club." Grandpa Du sighed and said, "Seeing the younger generation take responsibility makes me realize our time is over." Then he asked Dufeng, "Why did you jump off the mountain? And how did you achieve your breakthrough?" Dufeng replied, "To be honest, I jumped to achieve a breakthrough. It's a good thing Nova was there, otherwise I wouldn't have survived." Hearing this, Grandpa Du was shocked. Nova said casually, "Watching someone get humiliated like that was truly unpleasant." Suzuka asked, "Patrick is a top chess player. Are you sure you can defeat him?" Nova replied confidently, "Even if I didn't know chess, I'd still defeat a grandmaster for you two. So what is Patrick compared to that?" As they walked out, someone accidentally pushed Suzuka. Nova quickly caught her and asked, "Are you okay?" Suzuka smiled, "You saved me just in time." In that moment, Nova kissed her on the forehead. Everyone around them was shocked. Christian shouted angrily, "Nova, step away. The moment you got a chance, you showed your true colors." Grandpa joked. Your sister is fighting for Nova. You should fight for Suzuka too. Dufeng replied awkwardly. Grandpa, to be honest, I don't like her that much. Nova said, Suzuka, whatever happened just now, it just happened in the moment. Suzuka replied softly, I was the one who got carried away. Christian walked over and said, Nova, you need to explain everything to me. Nova quickly said, I'm getting an important call. I'll talk after this. He picked up the call and said, Yes, Sao, what happened? Crying, Zhao said, My mom suddenly fainted and her surgery will cost $200,000. I don't have that kind of money. Can you help me? Others asked, What happened, Nova? Why do you look so worried? Nova replied, Zhao needs $200,000 for his mother's surgery. He asked me for help. Then he added seriously, My master once told me that I can handle minor treatments, but when it comes to life and death situations, I shouldn't interfere. So I can't use my medical techniques to help him. I'll have to help him with money instead. Christian said, It's just $200,000, right? Just borrow it. Nova replied firmly, No, my master taught me never to take loans. It goes against my principles. Slightly annoyed, Christian said, So you still consider me just an ordinary person? Suzuka stepped in and said, Christian, try to understand him. He's not saying we're strangers. He's talking about his principles. Everyone has their own values. Dufeng then said, It's only $200,000. I have a way you can earn it. Nova asked, And what's that way? Dufeng explained, A national-level martial arts competition is coming up soon. The winner will receive $200,000. Christian said, But Larry has already joined the competition from our school, and as far as I know, only 3 people from each school can participate. Nova replied confidently, That's not a problem. If someone like Larry is competing, then it won't be that difficult. Scene shifts to Larry's house. Looking at a bottle, Larry asked, Patrick, what is this? Patrick replied, If you use this pill, you'll get an instant breakthrough. Larry said excitedly, That's amazing. Now I'll easily defeat that bastard Nova. Patrick warned him, My senior put a lot of effort into making this pill for you. Don't waste his hard work. Larry replied, If your senior Phantom Fire made it, then it must be incredible. After taking this, I'll show Nova his place. Patrick added, The competition is on Sunday. Prepare properly. Larry smirked. Don't worry about that. The next day at school, seeing Nova surrounded by girls, Larry felt irritated. Just then, someone rushed over and said, Larry, there's bad news. His follower said, Why are you panicking? There's no such thing as bad news for Larry. The guy replied, This is serious. The 3 participants from our school have been finalized, and one of them is Nova. Larry said angrily, I gave your name? How did he get selected? Wherever I go, this guy shows up. First the mountains, now this. Fine, I'll take my revenge here. One of his followers said, Everyone is sure that you'll win this competition. Larry said, Start placing bets on me. I know all these girls will bet on Nova. I want them to suffer heavy losses. Soon, people started betting. Christian said confidently, What, you think no one will bet on Nova? I'm placing $800,000 on him. Suzuka added, And from my family's side, we're placing $1 million on Nova. Larry asked, Christian trusts him because he's her bodyguard. But why are you doing this? Suzuka replied, Because I believe Nova will never lose. Scene shifts to Christian's house. Nova said, Tell me, who are the strongest participants in this competition? Zhao replied, Lena Harrison from Alpha Academy. She's one of the top 3 contenders. Nova smiled and said, She's beautiful too, and her abs are impressive. Zhao laughed, Looks like you'll enjoy fighting her. Just then, the girls walked in and said, Are you preparing for the competition or something else? Nova replied quickly, You're misunderstanding. We're just gathering information about our opponents. Christian asked, What's so special about this girl? Zhao replied, She's the strongest candidate from Alpha Academy. Suzuka said, But she's still a girl. Physically, she'll be weaker than the boys. Honestly, your only real competitor here is Larry. Zhao shook his head and said, We shouldn't underestimate her. Alpha Academy is one of the top academies after ours. It's full of geniuses. If she's among the best there, she's definitely dangerous. I've heard her moves are silent and deadly. Nova said calmly, We'll find out soon enough who's truly dangerous. 1 week later, everyone arrived at the competition venue. Zhao said, Lena has a huge male fan following, just like Larry has a huge female fan base. Nova said casually, You can't think properly on an empty stomach. Let's eat first. He started eating quickly, but suddenly something got stuck in his throat. He grabbed a glass and said, Thanks for this. Meanwhile, a waiter thought, That was easy. I didn't even have to do anything. He drank it himself. At the same time, Larry thought, If this guy reaches the finals, he'll cause me trouble. I won't let him get that far. Just then, the judges arrived. Larry said respectfully. Master, thank you for coming for the competition. Zhao whispered. Nova, look, that's Master Asura. He's such a powerful martial artist that even big businessmen wait in line just to gain his favor. Should we approach him? Nova replied casually. No, right now I'm more focused on food. Suddenly, Nova's stomach started rumbling. He ran off, saying, Where's the restroom? I need to go right now. Larry smiled to himself. My plan worked. Seeing Nova leave, Master Asura said, That man, he's my benefactor. Larry asked in surprise, Your benefactor? Who? Asura replied, He was just here. He left. Larry said, The competition is about to start, Master. Please come. Meanwhile, Nova was in the restroom feeling relieved. Just then, someone knocked on the door. Master Asura said from outside, Mr. Nova, is that you? You might not remember me, but I was there in the cave the day you fought Joker. Nova thought to himself, if Asura behaves this respectfully toward me in front of everyone, they'll start getting suspicious. Nova then said, Asura, I'm participating in this competition. Pretend you don't know me. I need to keep my identity hidden. Asura replied respectfully, I'm not worthy of judging you. Just give me a word, and I'll vacate the judge's seat for you. It would be an insult for someone like you to even stand in an arena where weak fighters are competing. Nova shook his head and said, No, don't do that. Let the competition proceed normally. Just act like you're supporting Larry. Asura said, The competition is about to begin, but you're still here. It looks like your work will take time. How about I send you directly to the finals so you can finish your work? Nova replied, If that's possible, then please do it. Asura said, Just wait a moment. I'll arrange it. After about an hour, Nova finally came out of the restroom. Thinking to himself, he said, Someone mixed a strong laxative into my food. I've lost a lot of energy in there. Fighting now will be very difficult. At that moment, his master appeared. Nova said happily, Master, you finally come out. His master replied, It took a lot of energy for me to come here. Nova said with concern, Master, your soul hasn't fully recovered yet. Why did you come here? She replied softly, To see whether my child is safe in this world. Nova said, I'll transfer my energy to you so that nothing happens to you. His master asked, But what about the competition? Nova replied firmly, Your health is more important than any competition. Outside, an announcement was made. Due to health issues, Nova will not be able to participate in the initial rounds. Considering his condition, Master Asura has directly advanced him to the finals. Christian said worriedly. Is Nova okay? Zhao replied, His stomach is upset, and this is all because of that useless Larry. Someone nearby argued, You're just saying whatever comes to your mind. The truth is, Nova got scared and doesn't have the courage to face reality. Suzuka said confidently, There's no one here that Nova needs to fear. He could defeat everyone with one hand tied. Larry's follower said, You only talk like this because Larry likes you. Otherwise, no one would dare speak like that about him to his face. Let me be clear. Come out of your imagination. Nova isn't going to win. If you don't believe me, place a bet with me. Christian said, Fine, let's bet. If Nova doesn't win, I'll drink this entire bottle. Suzuka and Lume added, And if she can't, we'll do it instead. The follower smirked. All right then, the bottles will be ready. On the other side, Patrick asked, Master Asura, is Nova someone special to you? Asura replied, Who he is, I cannot reveal yet. Just know that I respect him deeply. Patrick thought, What has Nova done to earn such respect from someone so powerful? Meanwhile, Larry thought, So Asura respects you that much, Nova? I'll crush you in front of him and take that respect for myself. Lena said, Who exactly is this Nova? Is he some big shot? Larry smirked. Speak of the devil, and here he comes. At that moment, Nova arrived. Lena looked at him and said, So this is Nova? He looks pretty weak. Larry thought happily, His level has dropped. That means the drug I used was extremely effective. Even Master Asura was shocked, thinking, How is this possible? The announcer declared, The Nova we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. Let's see what surprises he brings to the arena. Lena said confidently, I want to fight you and see what you're really capable of. At the same time, she thought, I hate people who take shortcuts. He used connections to reach the finals. I'll eliminate him in the first match. Nova said calmly, I'm not feeling well. If I accidentally hurt you, please forgive me. But Lena immediately attacked him. Nova easily dodged and pushed her back, saying, You should at least listen first. The audience laughed, saying, What's even happening here? This is worse trolling than a rivalry match. Angered, Lena attacked again, but Nova caught her effortlessly. He said casually, I must say, your hands are very soft. Meanwhile, Patrick said to Larry, He told me your plan was foolproof, that Nova wouldn't even be able to stand. Then how is he fighting so easily? Trusting you might have been a mistake, Larry replied. You don't understand. His level has dropped significantly. I'm now 2 levels above him. I can defeat him easily. Patrick said, You may have weakened his power, but you can't take away his experience or skills. Look at how he's toying with Lena. Even she has better skills than you. Larry said confidently, Don't worry, I won't lose. Patrick added, I've noticed Nova's weakness. One part of his body is much weaker than the rest. If you target that, victory is guaranteed. Meanwhile, the girls cheered for Nova. Suzuka said, This fight is nothing for him. Lena then used her strongest attack, but Nova countered it with a simple punch and sent her flying. As she was about to fall onto a spear, Nova rushed forward and saved her. But in doing so, the spear struck his own body. Christian shouted, Nova, are you okay? A doctor examined him and said, He has a severe wound, and some of his bones might be broken. He's not in condition to fight. He needs to be taken to the hospital immediately. Larry thought, Patrick said his weak point was his ribs, and now he's been injured exactly there. Seeing Nova's condition, people started saying, Larry would have won anyway. Now he'll just get the title without even fighting. Just then, a little girl shouted, Mom, look! That brother stood up. Nova stood up and said, Minor injuries aren't enough to take me down. Today, I will defeat you no matter what. What happens next will be revealed in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.